Two is Tapwrit at 6-1 on the morning line. He's got a little bit of a wise guy feel in this spot based on the Derby trip and the fact that he has the profile of a Belmont winner and running okay in the Derby and coming back in 5 weeks' time. Mike Beer, is there a chance that Tapwrit is the next Summer Bird?
Oh no, he'll never be as good as Summer Bird. I mean, let's be real here.
Might be a bird.
Summer Bird was a really good horse. And listen, there are things to like about him. I sort of found myself liking the way that he was developing for Pletcher, through the beginning part of the year. I didn't love the races he was running in, but I thought he was, sort of showing that he was taking steps forward anyway, and that was a good thing. And he did, his Tampa Bay Derby, I mean, he beat an awful field that day, but I guess if you're going to beat bad horses, you might as well beat him like that. He was pretty good that day. His Bluegrass was terrible. And he had trouble in the Derby. Listen, if you want to give him a tough trip excuse in the Derby, I'm going to kind of go along with you on that, just because he just never got any position in that race. I thought he did the best he could do with the trip that he got, and to finish sixth is not terrible. But I don't know, man. The more I look at him and the more I thought about this race, the less I wanted to be betting on Tapwrit at, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 to 1.
Andy, where do you stand with this Todd Pletcher trainee?
First I want me to say something about this race. It isn't a field of killers from what we've seen. But, I made an analogy to somebody earlier today. Yes, I understand the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers are clearly the best two teams in the league. But what if they were barred from the playoffs this year? For any NBA fan, I think the playoffs would have been much more entertaining. So I'm not sure this isn't a really entertaining race and a good betting race. No, it doesn't seem like it's likely to have a bevy of major 3-year-old players during the year. But the Belmont's always going to be a funky race because of the distance. And I think that's one of the reasons we see prices over the years. And I'm kind of in agreement on Tapwrit with Mike. He's sort of in my super somewhere. But first of all, his Derby's a funny situation because he had trouble early, probably of the 4 in the box, with Irish Warcry coming in and Classic Empire coming out. He probably had sort of the least, maybe along with Irish Warcry, who had a tough trip thereafter. But it is important to know that Tapwrit's running that he did in the stretch was as soon as he got on the gold rail. That seemed to be when he took off. So I'm not sure he was really doing any running in the course of the race, except when he got down to the inside. And like Mike, I think his Tampa Bay Derby was just sort of a mirage. Now, I don't think he's untalented, and I think he'll probably get a 1.5 miles, and he's got a great trainer for this race. So I think that he's a usable horse, but he's probably an 8 to 12 to 1 shot that's going to end up around 5 or 6 to 1, and I don't think that's particular value. So I'm using him out of respect, but I'm a little dubious of his overall talent. Where's his fast race?
Number 3.